Dear Daddy, at 2 you came in after working all night to pick up Daddy's little girl out of your bed and kiss away my fever. At 7 you drove me around in that old green Bronco. We were styling, profiling like creeps in the Jeep, you said. At 11 you bought me a swimming pool so I could play, and at 15 insisted it was time I got me some contact lenses so I felt better about myself, like I always wanted. 16, laughing like hyenas on backcountry roads as you trained me how to drive. Like Angelini Andretti, you were proud of my lead foot. I got it from you. Like a professional, you said. At 17, the joke was on them assholes with money, 'cause we made our expensive steak dinner with 2 ingredients, saltines and butter. 'Cause that's all we had, but it don't get no better than this, you said. At 20, I moved out and you moved away, but you called me once a week. How's your old kid? How you doing, kid? How's your mama, kid? It's fine, Dad. We're good, Dad. I miss you, Dad. I'm 21. At 22, I get vacation and I come to visit you on the mountain in Kentucky. The bathroom smells like coast, and I switch to use the same just to smell of you while you're gone. Though truth be told, I still use it most of the time, even still for that same reason. Nearly 20 years later. I'm 24 and you moved back. You pop in once a week and mow my grass. Most of the time before I even realize you're in town. I cook you meals, you change my oil, we go on drives, just to burn out gas that you'd paid 25 cents more for to fill it up cheaper. Because, joke's on them bastards, now we got some money too. I stopped by to see you at a friend's where you're staying between appointments for apartments, and there's a chicken in the cage feet away from the couch where you sleep. You get a pension of $236 a month. You're moving in with me, Dad, I said. I'm 26. For 3 years we laugh and fight and strive and survive, and sometimes we struggle, but we do it together. I turn 29 and you get your disability. Time for me to go, Pops. You'll be all right. Sometimes you stop by and use my shower, 'cause your tub just ain't cutting it for that old billy goat stink. You mess up your hair real crazy and you say you're fan fo fur fo from the wilds of Borneo. And we laugh 'cause you really are a crazy old bastard comedian. I'm 30 and laid off from my job with no prospects in the terrible economy. My savings is running out and it's time for me to move. You stuff me full of biscuits and gravy and force a giant bowl of strawberry swirl ice cream as though I'd starve without you there feeding me in Indiana. And you plead with me not to drive in the iced galleon to wash my clothes, so I go to the Fair Park laundromat that you asked me to. Then I see you creeping by in your green Hondo that you call a Jeep car, 'cause it's not a Jeep but it reminds you of one, and you give a thumbs up to nobody that you even realize is watching, 'cause you were worried about your baby, and that's the kind of dad you were, protective. I come home again just after I turn 31, and I see you for the last time while you're still healthy. You insist I take your AAA card and $20, even though I have $200 in my wallet and $1,000 in the bank, 'cause that's the kind of dad you were. Just in case you need it, kid, you said, planful. My next trip home is a 2 a.m. race to OSU where you're losing all speech, going paralyzed on your right side from a stroke. Tests tell us acute leukemia is coming and your stroke prevents us from treating it. I move home 2 months later. I'm moving in with you, Dad. I'm almost 32. I'm your secretary, your nurse, your maid, your chauffeur, your personal shopper, and your banker. But sometimes I forget that I'm also your daughter. We take you to therapy daily and doctors every week. You regain your speech and get back your mobility as I work with you. Without me, you said you would be dead. Without me, your doctor said you'd be in a home. But here we are, together, and laughing, because here we are, together, the two of us, like it had always been. We two against the world, you said. Forever and always, you said. Joke's on all them without something like we got, you said. At 32, for the first time, I realized why little girls want to marry their daddies. That love and endless devotion is a selfless kind of sacrificing love, where you give all that you are to another, and in return, you get the exact same thing. Not the same kind of a marriage of love as a man and a woman, daddy and daughter. There's no perversion. It's just a pure and endless love. In there like flint, you said. I felt the kiss of death the week that you died, cold and numbing, though still warm to the touch. I knew it was the end. I called in family and fudged on what the doctors were saying because while they didn't know, I did. We had your last good day on July 16th, 2011, and on the 17th I kissed you goodbye in the hall before you slipped into a coma. I put a silver dollar from 1979 you had saved all those years since I was born into your shirt pocket before the casket closed, just in case you need it. And I went on to learn how to live without you, half dead. The first year I cried every day, and I sobbed every night. No exaggeration. Sometimes I screamed, white rage and anger, until I was a crumpled mess on the floor, drowned in my sorrow. Sometimes I still do. I taunted death with pills and booze and knives to my wrist, until Cousin Candy was killed, leaving 3 babies behind. Then I just went cold, shut down, broken, pushed away all feeling that I could. I got a good job, and I even saw you for a while. Talked to you for years as if you were responding. Hallucinations. I'd done gone crazy. 3 years later, I felt like I needed to move on, do something you could be proud of me for again, and I went back to school. I'm still on that journey, even though I've taken a detour for a while, and though the road has been difficult at times, I've had a lot of high points and a lot of low points. But I still remember you every day, and I miss you every moment, because that was the kind of dad you were. Nearly impossible to live without. I'm still a daddy's girl. I'm 38. I miss you, Pops. Your little girl, Mott's. Happy Father's Day.